All right, we are on another episode of Leaky Funnels. This is probably somewhere in the mid 20s. I should probably check that out. I have Oren Harnevo from Feel and Ryan Pamplin, CEO of BlendJet, who we all know and love, sent Oren my way because they have a very cool technology that is selling with video and humans actually, and well, some AI I just heard. And the funny thing to me was I had Chris Hall from Bruce Bolt on, and three-quarters of what we talked about was Mavericks technology, which is like AI generated videos, which personalizes the name that they were using in abandoned carts and now SMS. So I want to hear about, sort of the other side of this. What exactly is Feel, and like what is the implementation for like a typical sort of like, I mean, all of our customers print Shopify Plus, so think, 5 million to like the really high ends, like 150 or something like that, sort of just before mid market or whatever. Still small business
Yeah.
growth, sort of D2C. So, what does the implementation
No,
look like? What's your product do?
yeah, that's actually perfect. That's a lot of most of our customers fall under this exact market size.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Feel, what we do, to say it simply, we add a buy with an expert experience to online businesses. We have the technology and the sales force to be able to very quickly help an online business build a sales team
Yeah.
and help consumers complete more purchases. So, as you can imagine, you go to a furniture site, you're looking at different desks, you want to know how big it is, does it fit, what's the wood made from, and you got a little launcher, little image that says, "Hey, I'm Jack. I'm a furniture expert. Do you need any help?" You click, and then it opens up, and Jack and you would be able to browse the website together. You'd be able to start with chat, just to kind of, some people feel that video might be too much, so you kind of start getting to know them with chat or text, and then you could go into a video. You can browse together on the site, ask any questions. It's kind of a high-end sales experience. The idea for Feel, I've met a CEO of a company called Ruti. She has a fashion business with a lot of stores and a big online site. And in stores, she told me when we first met, the experience is great. Her consumers love the sales associates. They talk, they have a coffee, and they talk about clothes. And she felt the website's pretty self-service. It doesn't have um, any personality to it. You can't really talk about the clothes or the items. And she talked to us about how can she add her sales experts to the site. So we build a technology that includes video and texting and chat. And what we saw pretty quickly is, especially the company sizes that you've mentioned, they don't have a sales force. So they
No.
may have support. They might have a few people that they hire offshore to answer questions as where's my product, and but they don't have salespeople. So after building the technology, we've also started building a sales team. And our sales experts, they all at least 5 years experience. They all have already existing experience to sell these specific products. So if it's a golf websites, we bring golf experts. If it's a fashion website, we'll bring fashion experts. And it's a really easy plug and play. You just add a little widget, you help train our sellers, and 2 3 weeks you have live experts on your site. That's
That's
the idea.
that sounds too
Um,
good to be true. Can I start asking you questions as though
yeah,
I am
go
a
ahead.
D2C guy? How much does this cost?
Great question, because we have a unique business model that makes it easier for D2C brands to get on board. So we only charge a commission from the sales that we drive.
Yeah.
So if we add this experience and it doesn't work, or consumers don't like it, then you don't pay, or you pay very little. But if our sellers are doing a great job, they're generating incremental revenue and better conversion, then you pay a piece of what we've sold. So that's how a lot of retail businesses pay sales employees. And it makes it really easy to start, because D2C businesses, their margins are tight. They're worried about adding new things because everything's is a big project and you got to, add things to the side. And so a percentage, it depends what's the AOV. So if we're selling $1,000 product, we'll obviously charge a small percent. But if the product's
Right.
like $200, maybe we'll charge a higher percent. Um, but it fits their margin and it's easy to test. It's easy to scale as well.
Yeah. That's what's a website that it's on right now? Can we like experience it?
Yeah, you can go to Velotric Bike as an example.
V How do you spell that?
Velotric
Yeah. Yeah.
bike.com.
Okay, hold on. Let me just share the screen. So this I did this yesterday. I had this guy yesterday. Let's see.
This is not it. This is
Oh,
Velotric Bike.
yeah, sorry. All right.
Yeah, there we go.
So let's shop now.
So you see, how can I help here on the,
Yeah, how can we help? This is you guys.
yeah, that's us.
How can we help? Adam. Okay.
Yeah, put your
This
email.
feels familiar for me. It's like a lot of the web stuff I'm doing.
Here we go.
I'm
Isaac's
looking
there.
for an e-bike. Okay, cool. Well, that's great. I just wanted to like get the beginning of the experience. So
Yeah.
I had a guy on yesterday who has this company called trynow.io, a pretty cool idea. So like, and not idea, they raised $25 million and he's got a bunch of customers, but um, it enables the brand to basically put a button in the site that says try for $0. And he's
Mm,
basically letting the brand, somebody can have up to 5 items, and then he's basically financing, paying the brand with some sort of discount for the items in advance, and then if they get shipped back to the brand, he gets refunded or whatever through loop return. You know what I mean? So
nice.
it's like
Yeah,
yeah, his whole thing is like if you had to pay $175 to try an outfit on in a store, you'd never try it. So it's like he's trying to like, bridge this gap, which is like kind of in a strange way the essence of what it's like bringing what used to be the retail experience to the internet in a different
right.
way, right? Like,
Exactly.
but yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to see what that looks like. That's super cool. So one thing that I tried with my business at one point, which just was so my last company was an email service provider like Klaviyo. It was just like a smaller one and it didn't serve e-commerce. And then we were trying to solve this like 24-hour chat support dilemma. And like we had I don't remember who we used, but it was, they were horrible. They were untrained. Like, how do you mentioned if it's a golf brand, then we bring in golf experts. If it's like whatever, like how does the brand get comfortable with the fact that these people are going to represent them well and like have good product
Exactly.
knowledge and like,
Yeah, no,
I don't doubt that they do if Ryan's the one who's recommending you to me because he doesn't accept less than like the best that there is. So, but
yeah.
yeah, that's a question that I have.
No, but it's the number one objection that we get in the first meeting. So it's a really good question and it's very relevant. Um, it's so the sale. Um, Once you have someone that understands the products that you're selling, or knows, let's say, someone who knows consumer electronics or someone who knows fashion, it's already like 70% there. Like you need a good salesperson. They need the best way to sell is to really help. You got to talk to the customer. You got to see what they want, understand their needs, and then try to fit the right product. So first of all, we hire good salespeople. Then we encourage the brand to be as much involved as possible to do the training. We want them to feel that our team is an extension of their team. A lot of brands use outsourcing, so it's not a really big difference. It is an outsourced sales team, but we have very small, if at all, people leaving. They stay for a long time with the brands. They get to know them. So we have trainings for the brand. We share a lot of knowledge-based templates. We ask the brand to fill out, how do you want to talk about the brand? What's your style? What's your feeling? List of all the products. If the SKUs are endless, then it's more like, what about tell us about your brand. How do you want to talk? How do you want to drive a sale? There's a lot of details, like, let's say someone had a conversation. Do you want to do a follow-up? Do you call them? So they go through a lot of our processes in order to build the first kind of knowledge base. Then they do some training. And then we do a lot of the training. So the sellers go through all the site, they understand all the policies. Before we launch, we do some testing back and forth with like the head of service or the head of customer experience or the marketer, depending who's in the brand in charge. And when they feel comfortable, then we go live. But there's always more training. It's a big piece of it. And the more the brand is involved, and we make sure that they, put their most experienced people to explain the product, the better the sellers perform. And after about a month, the sellers already know better than a lot of the people on the brand side, because they talk to consumers, they see
Right.
repeated questions. We start building Q&A. So like, here's a list of 50 questions and the best answer. I mentioned AI before. So we've introduced AI about 4 months ago, but not to talk to consumers, but to help our sellers. So every time a consumer asks a question, our AI goes through all our database and all the wrong and right questions. And we use also open AI to formulate a really good answer. So the sellers actually get a recommendation of what they should say. Sometimes they accept it, sometimes they don't. If they don't, maybe they say something else or write something else, and then our system learns. So, we try to be the best that we can at launch, but we keep constantly improving, and to a point where we really get the best answer for every question.
Right.
So it's a process, and if you want a good sales team, you as a brand, you need to invest some time in training them. But again, different websites require different skills. Like we work with Joma Shop as well. I don't know if they know, it's a giant men's exclusive wear, like watches and glasses, and
Right.
like you really need superb watch sellers, because
Right.
people want to buy $20,000 watch. They want to know exactly, what metal is in there and what
Yeah.
comes with the strap. So we found people that had experience in selling watches, and then they can have like a million items in their SKU. So it's not that the seller needs to remember each and every one, but as soon as they go together to some items, the seller can read a little bit, they can do some
Yeah.
research, they can get back to them, an hour or two later. So that's an example of a side that you really need an experienced seller. On the other hand, we work, for example, with Nanit, who is a baby monitor company.
I haven't in it.
Um, it's a great product, great
Yeah.
company. We love that. That is one of our first customers, and we really scaled well with them. You learn the product. It's not a very long learning curve. Anyone can learn it, and we brought in moms or people that had baby monitors,
Yeah.
so that one's easier, and pretty much every mom or with some sales skills can do. So it depends on the customer, but obviously a big deal, the training.
Got it. Um, what else? So,
You
uh,
you talked before about the 24/7, which is
yeah.
also a big deal,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm happy to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about
Jump
that.
on that
So,
one. I was just going to ask where these people are geographically in a very politically correct way.
oh yeah, yeah. It's also good. So um, we started. I engaged with Ruti that I mentioned to build a company before COVID, but then COVID happened, and then her sellers were at home because the stores were closed.
Yep.
So we started as a COVID build company. So everyone works from home. So all the sales associates are work from home across many states. They're all in the US. And they all work from home. They get a little nice background and a place that they can work. That makes it very easy for us to hire a sales associate because your option is, am I going to drive an hour to the local Walmart or retail store and find parking and pay for travel, or do I want to work from home? That's most of these sales associates, they don't have an option to work from home. It's not like tech employees.
Right.
So it's very exciting for them. So they all they work from home. And with regards to the 24/7 piece, we offer like a 9 a.m. We started with 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We saw so many missed opportunities and evenings and nights. About 50% of traffic to our customers, I would assume that's across all ecom, shop 9 to 5. And then another 35% shop at evenings,
Right.
and then another 10, 15 at night. So now we've built a night shift as well. And not a night, sorry, evening shift. So we do 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern. And then 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. we'll have, we're not going to do video. We're going to do just chat and just handle simple questions.
Yeah.
Try to have sellers across many brands and just take the details, get back to them a day later, just to make sure we don't lose a lead. So it is 24 hours.
That's great. I mean, do you ever have any problems with like people having kids running around in the back of the video? Like, you know what I mean? Because so one thing that I think happened in COVID is like, you know, are you at home or is that an office? Like you appear to be working on a computer at home.
Yeah.
I have been doing this since 2016, not necessarily at home, but just wherever I wanted to be. I mean, I think one of the things that happened is people working in hospitality, going to these jobs or whatever, they saw people like you and me and they were like, whatever game that person is playing, I'm going to learn how to play that game. Right? Like, I don't want to go to this place anymore. I don't want to get my nuts kicked in by this guy or whatever. So this is like an unlock, right? I mean, like you just said, for kind of society, right? Some people who have to schlep into like wherever, you know, it's a really
Yeah, no,
interesting thing. It's a really interesting thing for the employee as well. It's like the whole thing is like migrating this way, I guess.
exactly. We really see, we give retail sales associate an opportunity to work from home.
Yeah.
We get a lot of moms or single moms that need to be home and have a really hard time finding specific jobs. Also, our flexibility on time, so you can take a night shift, an evening shift, a morning shift. So you can manage your day however you'd like.
Hmm.
As far as I know, I don't watch each and every video, but we didn't get the kids running around.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I think another thing that this work from home or work from wherever trend is we kind of lost formality a little bit, the need to be formal,
Right.
right? Because people are okay with seeing, I don't know, my whatever, my bedroom or my
Right.
closet.
Right.
And I find it when I pitch, I pitched Dick's Sporting Goods
Hmm.
like 2 years ago. They were too big for us, and but all of the questions was like, but what about the background? We need the background of the store, and we need, we have a full training, 6 months training process. Like, so all that old school mentality kind of, they said like, we can't do it because we are,
Right.
we need everyone with a background or with a logo and with a shirt, and they didn't like that like this.
Right. Yeah.
But consumers don't care. They don't
Right.
care. They want some help, and actually, it makes it a bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like more real.
Yeah.
We're not trying to put on a front like it's just a person helping you buy.
Hmm.
So I think that's changing too, like the need of formality or like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
And it's
Best
like,
Buy, for example.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, but I know I also talked to Best Buy when we were young, and they were during COVID. We're just scrambling to because they just lost all the foot traffic, so they had
Hmm.
to go to this online solution quickly, and they built massive warehouses, and sometimes in some of their stores, like area that's still in the store, that has the background of the store that someone can go pick an item and kind of show you. So they doubled down on the need, like, no, it has to be in the store. We have to show the store.
Yeah.
And maybe it works well for them. But all of the brands that we talk to, it's a huge amount of money to spend. You got to build
Totally.
infrastructure and like
Oh man.
just get someone to work from home and just help.
Yeah.
Why? And you don't even need to show the product. Let's just go to the site and see it together. So
Mhm.
I think this trend of just getting a normal person work from home, give you some advice. I think it's good enough, but it'll take time for the big corporates to maybe buy into that.
Um, does it, is there a type of company that it doesn't work for? Like, is there anybody that you see, like, there's certain, like, I get a CBD company with our product and I'm like, like, I'm just not excited, right? It's like, there's like a 25% shot they're going to be happy. I don't know why. Something with email and CBD, it just doesn't work. Is there anybody that you're just like not excited about
Yeah, yeah.
this?
Well, there's a few reasons why someone would not be a good customer for Feel, or this wouldn't work. First, there's people involved. They get paid, and an average sales associate can make, I don't know, 15 to 30 plus dollars an hour. So, they need to sell the item. Let's say they say two, three items an hour or more, whatever, two, three baskets an hour. They need to get paid. So if I'm on a website that sells underwear and socks and like, $20 earrings, there's just not going to be enough margin
Yeah.
to justify a seller. You can see it in retail stores. So like you go to the Gap, you're gonna see sales associates because there's just no margin in it. People buy, they don't buy expensive items. But the company that I showed you, the e-bike company, Velotric, they're great. A bike can cost $1,300. So there's a lot of margin if you really make a sale. So one is you need decent margins and high AOV. Not that
And
high. It needs to
is
be,
there
let's say,
like, well, yeah, what's the
the
level?
yeah. I would say 100 is, under 100 it gets tougher.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of scale, so if you're selling, let's say, $70 products, but you can sell two or three, or that's fine. But but generally, I would say 100, 150 is the minimum. That's one. It also has to be items that people have questions about. I'm not sure that's the perfect example, but I always give TVs. I mean, when I buy a TV, it's such a commodity product. I just
Yeah.
want to see the dimension, the size, the company, and I'm buying. I don't, and although the AOV is high, the margins are low.
Right.
So I don't have a lot of questions. So we get about, I would say, between 1 to 5% people that engages with us from total traffic on the site.
Yeah.
And if it's, and we see it clearly, if for example, Nanit who sells a baby monitor, people got questions, it's their kids, they
Yeah.
get sensitive new parents. So we get very high click rate. But then, if we work with a company that sells clothes, just general fashion, most people don't need much help. Maybe they need help with sizing. So you need to have a product that people have questions about. Maybe it's more, it has some technical features. Maybe there's a problem with sizing. So I would say those are the two major ones. And we're focusing right now on e-commerce. This could be very relevant also for finance loans or auto or travel. Like if you want to
Sure.
book an expensive hotel, totally right. But we are now focusing on e-com, higher AOV, just to grow. We're a startup, so.
And how important is the video component to it? Like, did you A/B test that at all, or did you just go right in? Like, by the way, I'm a huge video guy. I just think it's like I'm like way overdoing it on LinkedIn in 9 different ways. Like, I just think it's like the power of the human face, especially if you can get somebody, which is different. Somebody listening to you over and over and over again is like just so hypnotic. But like, Was it a gut feel in the beginning, or do you have data that like the video components, you know?
Yeah, we went video day one.
Yeah.
Um, Zoom was feeling like it's going to change this is COVID time, right? So it's like
Yeah.
2021, everyone's at home and we're like video, 100% video, let's go. And conversion on video is incredible. Like we've seen 80% conversion, I would say anywhere between 40 to 80. So if someone talks with video with a person, they end up buying. You could say that they wanted to buy anyway because they
Yeah.
actually opt into video. They had some interest.
Right.
It's true, but still, conversions are super high. Customers are very happy. Like the customer feedback was always phenomenal. But what we saw about video is that a lot of people don't want it. Maybe they will more, but a lot of people like, you're sitting in your bed, it's 1 a.m., you're scrolling through you want to buy
Yeah.
a new golf club, and then someone's like,
Yeah.
video. You're like, I don't want to share my
Yeah.
video. I don't need a video. I just want to know, if I can get a discount or whatever. I want to know if I can hook my Bluetooth to it. So what we've done is we give the consumer option. So we start with text just to get to know, hi, how are you here? What do you look for? And if they just want a question and go, maybe we wouldn't even have time to offer a video. If we're starting to engage and feels like a good customer, they want more help, we offer it. Do you want to join in a video? And then we automatically just show a button that they can click in. Sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes. Every time we get a customer into a video, conversion super high. But we have to balance the consumer's needs.
Yeah.
So the mixed experience is great. And then we have another customer we work with, Dr. Comfort. They are a medical shoe for diabetes patients, a bit of a very unique
Hmm.
niche market. And a lot of people are old. Everyone is 60 and above. They don't want video. And
Yeah.
actually, yeah, they have a problem with chat. They want us to call them. So we
Right.
start talking and they're like, can you call me? So video is great. It works phenomenally. And we're trying to get any of it as possible, but we want to give the consumer a choice. So it's we give all the options, but I would say video, I think it could be, I would say now is maybe 20%. I think it can go with time, it can go a lot higher, and we can do things that can make it go higher. We're also working on recording things, so maybe you have a specific question we saw 5 more times. We can just send a video that's just going to
Yeah.
play, maybe have some
Right.
AI on it, so we don't have to necessarily um, get you to agree to share your screen or get a seller to now stop everything and get on a video because there's
Yeah.
also the operational side of that. Um, so the mix is key, and we're constantly working on optimizing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting. Um, are there any other major objections that, as a fake D2C owner, I did not come up with?
um, there's always objections. I think, yeah, definitely, but these are not our sellers, is definitely one. Like,
Right.
how can we make sure your sellers would sell our brand well? That's, I would say, the
Well,
biggest.
but that was interesting
Um,
because it's like, well, you weren't gonna do it. You know what I mean? But still, right? Like,
exactly.
it's like they're not your sellers, but like you weren't gonna do this.
It's so funny you say that. That's exact. We get that a lot, and sometimes we get a complete no. It's like, no, 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 no. We want our seller. Like, you don't have any. Why don't you start with us?
Right.
See that it works.
Yeah.
Hire your own. That's fine. Use our tech, no problem. But they're like, no, no, no. Just sometimes, we do some BDR campaigns, and we get an email, like an angry email. We got a few weeks ago. It's like, we will never our people are our number one asset, and we will never let them like have external people uh, but times are changing. You got to outsource what you can.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the one of the objections. There's always like, we're moving between e-commerce platforms, we don't have time, or maybe our margins are too small.
Yeah.
We don't
Right.
think we can pay, but I think, or maybe we have a sales team, which is bigger customers. Our support team does sales. That sometimes comes up, and I think that's actually an important point, that you need to really make a distinction between sales and support, because it's just different people, it's different character, it's different replies. So when you say, hey, whatever, can I hook my NAND into the Bluetooth? So if you're a support person, you're just like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
You connect it like this. But if you're a salesperson,
exactly.
you're like, oh, tell me what you're looking for. Who is it?
Right,
Is it for you, or are you buying it as a gift? And then you just
right.
start creating a relationship.
Yeah.
So um, we try to explain it. It really does make a lot of sense, and it does hit a point. So when you click our little icon, we ask, are you interested in support for a product you already bought, sorry, or do you want help buying a new product? And if you want help, we'll move you to the support team, and we'll just take people that haven't bought, because
Right.
so that sometimes comes in as an objection. Um,
Cool. Anything else I didn't hit?
um, No, I think we hit all the main points. I think what's interesting is how AI is going to affect this whole market of conversational e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's probably, sorry if I'm completely taking a number out of my head, but I don't know. There's probably million or millions customer support people
Yeah.
handling simple questions in the Philippines and India and
Right.
Dominican Republic, wherever. We implement an open AI with our unique models, and we put some of our tech in it. And I got to tell you, like 40, 50% of the time, it brings out a perfect answer. It's still not good enough, and we believe in the human connection, but
Right.
I mean, 5 years from now, I don't think you're going to need, I think there's going to be so much turmoil in the whole BPO business and in the
Yeah.
technologies that just provide platform for support. You really don't, especially support. If you have a problem with your device, I don't know, 3, 4 years, you really don't need to talk to anyone. It
Right.
is so.
What?
I think that
One of my best friends is he's the founder of a publicly traded company called TaskUs, and they're like, they have 55,000 employees in the Philippines, like doing support for Uber and Twitter and like all this stuff, content moderation, like all that.
yeah,
And their stock is
that's
down
tough.
95% from the highs. I mean, all these tech stocks are down. Not that they're tech, but like, and on one hand, it's like, okay, he's like, it's trading at 5 times cash flow, so we're just like buying back stock with the cash flow. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you saw this happen in the shopping mall sector in like 2017, 18. It's like they're trading so cheap. And it's like, these can't be this cheap. The cash flow is incredible, but it's like, dude, this guy Jeff Bezos is just going to eliminate all of them. Like, it's just a matter of time, right? Like, maybe you can like catch the trade or whatever, but like, um,
Exactly.
it is,
Well, it's so hard. My previous company. This is my second company. My previous company was in this is my in media. Had a video advertising company, and we would do personalized video for ads. So if you go to a Home Depot, you buy a drill. The next day, you'll get a video of Home Depot about drill bits and your local Home
oh,
Depot
that's
close
cool.
to you. So we would personalize the video ads. And we did a lot of managed service, so we would run the whole campaign, and then programmatic came, and the trade desk came. I don't know how much you know
Yeah,
that
yeah, I know
space,
about that
and
stuff. We're sort of in it. Like, we're de-anonymizing
yeah,
hashes to like do this identity stuff. So like, I had to learn about all that
mm,
stuff.
yeah, exactly. So they came in, and they just sucked the revenue from so many companies that
Mm-hmm.
provided manual or managed service. So I'm saying that because I managed a company where your numbers are going up, things look good, all the accounts are renewing, you're growing, but
Yeah,
5 years out, you're just not aligned with the world strategy, and like it's a really tough place to be in,
yeah.
because companies sometimes are too big to, what are they going to do? This company, they're going to pivot to do AI support. Like, it's kind of, they said 50,000 employees, it ain't going to
Yeah,
happen.
I,
So
I mean, they
no
have.
wonder the
I
stock is low.
I bet this is 1% of their business, but he's literally talking about it on the in the headline. They do AI tagging, so like OpenAI is their customer, and they have these people in the Philippines like doing, you know,
Oh, they
there's
help.
some,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there's some human element to like making these models work, and it is
Yeah, no, a lot
very,
of training,
yeah. So
ton
like
of training.
they're doing that, and the story would probably be better if that were all they were doing. You know what I mean? Um, but
No, but
yeah,
it is a
it's
good point. People are worried that AI is gonna get a lot of people out of work, and what they're gonna do. I mean, I'm no futurist, and I don't know if I have the knowledge to really give a solid prediction, but there's always another job. So if you were
right.
had a, if you did customer support, now you can train models for AI. Like some people, it's too hard to change profession. I get that, but there's always another avenue where you need people. That sounds actually really interesting because there's so much. We see it from our business. Training is just makes the models so much better,
Yeah,
and you need just people to. So I think it's an interesting direction.
totally. Kind of the same idea. Like we have now driverless cars driving around Austin with people in Ubers. Like you see them all over the place now. Like you look
Really, is it
over, yeah,
already?
yeah.
I
You
thought
can
it was
call it
not
on an
yet.
Uber. You look next to you, and there's this
No
car
shit.
with the little cruise thing on top or whatever. There's people in the back, and there's no driver.
That is so freaky.
Like it's just a matter of time. Like why would you need a driver to drive an Uber? Like it,
Right.
you know. Um,
You
there's
definitely don't
only
want
one
to
way.
get into the taxi business.
There's only one way that can go. Right. Like
Yeah.
you don't need driver Ubers anymore. Like you just don't. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, interesting time. I love
Totally.
being a part of that AI revolution. It's incredible what's going on in the last 6 months. This is really
Yeah.
exciting.
It really is. Um, well, Oren, thank you. That was very, very interesting. I just love the approach. I love these businesses where it's like such a major and obvious value add. You make it easy to get started. Like, just cool. If anybody wants to
Thank
learn
you.
more, where do they find out?
They can go to our site. We're feel.tech. And they can email me, Oren at feel.tech, and would love to give folks demos, tell them more, and learn more about Feel. Thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it to tell our story and give us time, and
Yeah, you know,
great discussion, good questions.
I feel like I'm making content for like two or three different types of people. One, it's people who own these brands, and this is the kind of stuff they care about. It's just like, what can I do to effectively just make more money? Like, that's always top of
Yeah.
mind. And then also like Shopify merchant success managers. They have like, they're basically like CS reps at Shopify Plus. And
Mm-hmm.
I treat them as an audience too, because they're just like recommending ways to make Shopify Plus brands grow all day long. And like things like this are great. They're just trying to sound smart, you know?
Yeah.
So it's wheelhouse for what people care about that I perceive at least. So, you know, it's great.
No,
We should
excellent.
have
What
you on
was the
again.
third? No, you said you had three. What was the
Yeah,
third?
well, kind of Klaviyo customer success managers also is like,
Hmm.
we like Klaviyo's integration is like 98% of our revenue, and they like sort of hate us because one of the things we do is these non-opt-in email addresses that are against the terms of service. So it's like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
trying to kind of like, become an influencer to that audience so they at least like me as a person. And I have a year plan to like not be doing that, but like, it's just the place I found myself in
Gotcha.
where I had like way too, you know, I didn't know we were going to end up, we didn't start with e-commerce. Like we just all of a sudden it's like, oh, like
Mm.
this is the best customer by far. And like, as a result of only focusing on Shopify for a couple of years, like this Klaviyo problem's only going to get worse, but it's something I'm dealing with. I have a plan to get out of it. Cool. Well, thanks very much. And
Yeah, thank
that's a
you.
wrap.